So I'm Anna. I'm Carolina's sister. We both come from Colombia, and we were living in New York by the time that the accident happened to my sister. Carolina was doing her Ph.D. in biology at Stony Brook University, and I was also doing a master's in anthropology at the New School. Carolina, when she was 30 years old, she had a brain aneurysm that burst, and it was very complicated. But at the end of the surgery and being in coma for 15 days, she made it through. But the neurologist told us that she was going to have that her lesion was very severe on the left side of her brain, so she was going to be paralyzed from the right side and have aphasia. She is as bilingual as I am right now. We learned English late in life. Our mother tongue is Spanish, and we learned English more for graduate school type of business. So our English is very academic, and you can communicate, but it comes more from books and that type of not as casual English. So when this happened in Colombia, back in Colombia. Carolina had just recently been married. Actually, the week before this happened, and after they came from the honeymoon. And the day she was traveling back to New York, the aneurysm broke, and she had a severe headache, and all of this started to happen. So Carolina, after the coma, Carolina started rehab in Colombia. We went to a place that has like an integral recovery. It's called Teleton. It's pretty major in Latin America, and what they do, and they receive people with all kinds of problems. It's not only for stroke, but it's for many type of accidents that you have. So she had physical therapy, she had speech therapy, she had how do you call it here? Occupational therapy, exactly. And all of those things, it was very intense. This was every day from 8 to 5 or something like that. At the beginning, it was very hard. She couldn't walk, so she started from a wheelchair. She couldn't say any word whatsoever. She really, it seemed as she has lost her voice. And speech was the main thing, right? That was the most worrisome, because without it, what can you do? So after this year, right, of therapy of all sorts, we decided to just focus on her speech. She was starting to read, starting to say a couple of sentences. So we found a place in Argentina that is only devoted to aphasia. And she went there with her husband, and that was the first time that they were going to be by themselves, because in the family dynamics, of course, shifted when this happened. And I moved back to Colombia. Her husband stayed in Colombia, and we all live with my father, sort of taking care of Carolina. So you can imagine how much of a shift that is for a newlywed just to live with, And we had a dynamic where it was me, I was doing more of the motherly care for Carolina. I was very concerned. I was trying to do too much for her. And her husband had a different approach, and that approach was more, she has to be independent. You have to, it doesn't matter how long it takes, or how much time it takes for her to just tie her shoe, but we let her do it. And I think that having him with that approach, and me with the more I'll do it for you, helped Carolina a lot. And right now, when I look back, I really thank his approach, because I think it really, you cannot do everything for anyone at all times. So that's an advice that I would have for more people, to really let them do as much as they can. And it's hard to watch.